morning everybody, Nikki here from Yoga Lattes. We're making the most of the sun and the beautiful view here in Raglan this morning down at the wharf. So, continuing on with our back bending, Mr. Cameraman. Let's do a little bit of a warm up before we move into a half flowing camel sequence. Okay, sequences are great before we start to get into holds. You really want to know that you're comfortable in the pose, that the muscles, bless you,
Sorry.
are capable of getting to where we want ourselves to safely. All right, so let's just start coming into our cat. Cat's always a great way to warm up the body first, through the back. Remember, hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, so always take a moment to get into that alignment. Yeah, relax the top of the feet. Here, remember, you are active. Feel your upper arms, feel your back and chest, your core. So that you know you're supporting these joints, not just hanging the full body weight into them. So let's go, take a nice deep breath in, the sit bones are up, the belly is down, chest, throat, eyes up, exhale, rounding. And I encourage you, especially if you were starting with this, to do 3 or 4 of these. Yeah, or as many as you feel like. So just keep flowing, rounding gently. You'll probably notice that as you get to 3rd or 4th, we start to get into a deeper stretch. Of course, just loosening off. So it's the inhale that takes you up, and the exhale that brings you into that lovely rounded curve, full flexion of whole spine. Okay, from the base here, coming back to your neutral. Let's just come forward into our plank. So that's just hands a little bit further forward for me so I can lengthen out. Taking one leg long at a time, pushing into the heel. Okay, so just pausing here for a moment. Remember, elbows are soft, upper arms, so think about that core. Engaging the core, pushing into the heels. Okay, remember to breathe, keep the neck nice and long, the face is relaxed. Okay, and often a good way, especially since we're starting out, coming to the floor is one leg at a time, knees first, and then lowering into our half plank as we did yesterday. So one knee, then the other, we're still in half plank. Exhaling down to the floor. Let's go through that cobra to child. Breathe into arch up. Exhale back to child. So let's do this once more as we did yesterday. Okay, breathing in to come up. So just warming up a little bit. Exhaling down to the child. Walking the fingers forward with the inhale. Sitting back with the exhale. Breathing into that half plank. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, cobra. And perhaps once more just to really complete that warm up. Yeah? One move, one breath as always. So the pace is determined by your own breath. Exhaling to the floor, core is strong. Inhaling, cobra. And exhale, let's just come back to our seated unless you're really feeling like you need to keep going. So adding our half flowing camel pose. Let's come up onto hands and knees. Knees are hip bone distance apart. So with the option feet flat, or you could tuck the heels to make them a little closer to reach. Don't get too caught up on this. Let's start with a movement and see how we go with the back bend as we deepen it. Okay, so remembering a back bend is about length in the front, strength in the back. So as we come into an arch, be aware of what's happening in your lower spine. Make sure you're comfortable with that. Okay? And that'll happen gradually over time. So let's start us facing you. This is my right hand, right thumb on the outside of my right heel. Okay, so I'm just taking hold of that heel. So you can see we bend backwards, and eventually our aim is to come into an arch. So we'll see how we flow through it. Heel is here. Left hands are opposite hand up, and the palm of that hand is over the foot you're holding onto. Okay, so again, you can look back if it suits your neck, look up if you prefer. Okay, so let's take a lovely deep breath in, and as you exhale, sweep down that right side as if you were going to child, and inhale opposite way. Okay, so left thumb is outside left heel, right hand is palm down over left heel. You're choosing where suits you best to look. Right, big breath, exhale, flow it down. We're going to do this 5 times. Inhale up and exhale down. So take your time, don't be quick on the exhales. That's your opposite stretch. Okay, giving your muscles a chance to relieve any tension or stress. Inhale, you are lifting up. Exhale, you are softening. So remember, we have that option. If it suits you, feet could be flat. See if that suits your reach. Exhaling down. Okay, let's do one more each side. You can hold for as long as you want every pose, obviously. And when you are finished, even both sides come down into that child, the pose that you have chosen best for you. So maybe legs were apart or together, hands resting or not, arms back, behind, whatever suits you. Take time now here to breathe. Okay, so in your child, breathe deeply, belly into the thighs, massage the gut. As you massage the gut in its limited space, you're going to expand through the back, the muscles you were just working. So spreading that stretch through the back muscles simply by breathing. Okay, so 2 more lovely deep breaths here. And when you are ready, gently rebuilding. So your flowing camel is a great one to mix with your the posture we did previously, our flowing cobra, maybe starting on the floor with your back being simple and stable. Okay, and we're building on as we can. Number of repetitions is entirely up to you. Great way to loosen, and maybe you feel like finishing off with a couple of cat stretches as well. Have a great day.